What's up, Mixed Reactions? It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. I'm here with Casey Merritt, and Justin Duncan. How you doing today, Casey?
Living the dream, my friend.
Amen. That's code for I can't fucking stand it here, but I got things to do. How about you, Justin?
About the same, and especially about the weather here, because more freaking snow.
Yeah, man.
It's it's April, man. I'm so tired of this weather.
Yeah, dude. I saw lightning strike about 900 feet away from me on Friday. That's the closest I've ever seen this shit in my fucking life. We were chilling on the porch, uh, and I was
Boom.
like, "That sounds pretty close." And then, hell no, I fucking booked it. I'm not used to this shit, man. But glad you guys are safe. But one thing is not safe. That's not safe, and I know you guys caught the game last night. That's a lead if you're playing the Florida Gators. Once
You know,
again,
At least if you're playing basketball, for goodness sakes, forget the Gators. It's just basketball. No lead safe.
well,
Florida comes.
especially when it comes to the Gators, though, you gotta remember, like they trailed by, I believe it was either 9 or double digits in the Elite Eight. Same thing with the
So
Final Four, and again, same thing in the national championship. If I'm not mistaken, becoming the first team to trail by double digits in the Elite Eight, Final Four, and national championship, and come back and win all of them. So props to the Florida Gators. But before we get into that game, guys, I gotta say this sounds such like a homer thing to say, and I'm not a Duke fan, but obviously I was rooting for them because of Cooper Flag. The loss against Houston kind of derailed my interest in the national championship game last night. I paid attention to it, but I didn't have a dog in the fight. I didn't care either way.
And it's funny you mentioned that because a lot after Duke lost, I was like, man, that's cool to see Houston win, but I really wanted to watch Duke play. But it was still two really good teams, still two one seeds. Houston's allergic to any type of effective, consistent offense whatsoever. But yeah, man, that Houston game, that I fell asleep after he got that block, and then that wasn't an over the back call against him. First of all, second of all, the shot he had to take the lead, he got a good look. It just didn't drop. What do you want to do? So Duke, he's the best player in the draft, though, bro. You could watch the game for 10 seconds and realize he just moves different. He's just better than every single other player out there.
built
Mala Watch didn't
different.
impress me either.
He's built different.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I agree partly, Ian, that he's easily the best player in the draft. But you know, it was a great ride for him, and I don't like the talks of him that people have saying, "Oh, he should potentially come back for another year." It doesn't make any sense for him. Yeah, he could make probably 4 mil and send him to Duke, but at the same time, this is his perfect time for him to come out and prove to the world why he is that number one pick, and I think that's the best option for Cooper.
I would agree. It's the best option for him by and large. The only thing I would say to that is for him, for his NBA career, long term, should it matter which team wins the lottery if he would to decide to come out? And I would say it shouldn't, but maybe for him it would. If what he depends what he aspires to get to.
Yeah, no, that's fair too. I get that.
Because I said this in our chat. The bottom feeders were like the lottery odds-on favorites. They're nowhere near ready to compete for anything.
No.
And I know it's kind of a running gag, but he needs to pray for San Antonio to pull off a lottery win because that's his ticket to a legitimate like potential run kind of thing for him in his early career.
Yeah, if it's Charlotte, if it's
Utah or Washington.
He fit right in Utah. I mean, it's Washington, Charlotte, New Orleans, San Antonio. Who fucking people are gonna be pissed if they. That'd be funny, man.
New Orleans would be interesting because pairing him with another Duke alum and Zion Williamson would be fun to watch. They wouldn't be contenders, but they'd be fun to watch.
I think they could be contenders. I don't think the Pelicans are that far off talent wise.
They're pretty far off because they have. Do they still have Brandon Ingram?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then Zion can't seem to stay healthy anyway. So
he's cooked at this point.
Yeah, it's
Zion's one of the best scorers in the league when he's healthy, though. Let's not get it twisted in that aspect. He's still an ultra talented player when he's on the floor.
And Brandon Roy was one of the best point guards to ever play the game when he was healthy, but we see how long he lasted.
Don't ever disrespect my GOAT like that.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just stating facts. He was one of the best, if not the best, to play the game when healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, he was.
With the caveat, when healthy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I see the same thing in Zion, so I understand where you're coming from with that. But, I mean, if we really want to talk about the national championship game, we can. Like, to me,
it felt like a bad law firm lawsuit, Florida versus Houston. It was like this just doesn't have the luster that I was hoping that anyone was looking forward to.
No, to me, it felt like a mid-February game, not a national championship.
It didn't feel like a national championship.
I could get the general perception around that because they're not, other than Walker Clayton Jr., there's no real intrigue to watch in either team. But it was a really good ball game. Like, it'd be different if it was a 4 seed and it was San Diego State played UConn. Yeah, that it was still 2 really good teams, but I can certainly see your guys' perspective as just you don't want It's not.
There's no household name involved really. There was no.
Junior.
But compare if you Cooper Flag, Walker Clayton Jr. In terms of household name that you think of, he's not the first. Even the first 4 people you think of in NCAA basketball, really.
Here's the thing on this, Ian. Say Duke had somehow got eliminated in the Sweet 16 or something like that, right? And then we got Florida and Houston. I feel it would have had a different impact. It would have been more hype.
They would have had more time to build them up, those 2 teams.
Yes, because because the immediate letdown of Duke falling out. That's what took everything away from it. I agree, 1,000%.
It's not so much that Duke just wasn't in it. Is they were in the Final Four game, up 6 with 37 seconds left. And then 2 days later, we're watching Florida and Houston, and nobody expected Houston to be in there. I told you guys this in the chat, and I'm not proud to say this. When Duke went up 14 in the title on the Final Four game on Saturday, I crashed out. I went to bed. I was tired. I was like, this game's
I did the same thing. I did worse. I missed the entire second half of the 28-3 Patriots Super Bowl. That's worse.
That's
pretty bad. That's worse. But I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, but again, I think because of how recent Duke's loss was, it just took every win out of this, most of the wins out of the sails of what the national championship is supposed to be.
100%. No question about it.
It was their tournament to lose. They were one of the best teams to have ever been in the tournament.
It was their tournament to lose, and they lost it. Straight up.
They choked that shit away. And that was not an over the back on Cooper Flag. That was a bullshit call. The one that led to the game-winning free throws. But you don't call that. You don't. It was minimal contact.
You should have helped swallowed your whistle for that. I would agree. But it's not the wrong call. It's just not the right call. It's the wrong time to make that kind of call.
It's the wrong time for the right call.
Exactly. It's the right call, but not the time to make it.
And the thing that makes those type of calls so difficult, right, is because you want to sit there and say, if you would make that call in the first 8 minutes of game 1, you need to make that same call in the last 40 seconds of a Final Four game. That's the way the rule, and that's how the game should be played. But then you humanize the sport and you understand moments and you understand why sometimes whistles should be swallowed. It's such a tough argument to make on either side, to be honest with you.
And again, it's not it's not that they made a bad call. It's of all the times to make it, you make it then.
Yeah.
100%. And I wholeheartedly believe Houston wouldn't have gone down and scored.
I do too.
Agreed. I would agree.
It was.
I will say this though: you watching, because I did go back and watch the highlights from the 14-point comeback and onward. You could tell Houston's swarming defense was giving Duke trouble, even from the start of the game. Their relentless pressure on Duke had them, I don't want to say scattered, but a little off kilter more than I'd seen them all year.
I think definitely disrupted their timing.
Yes.
Definitely disrupted their timing. Running joke around here now is that Cooper's going to transfer the transfer portal, come back and play with Ace for 1 year before going to the pros. That's never happening, but that'd be great.
Hilarious.
That'd be great, though. That'd be great.
Cooper Flag dominating the American East.
They'd go undefeated.
But dude, I mean, but come on, but like in reality,
it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's just pipe dream. It's just complete pipe dream.
I'm interested to see how Ace does for Maine next year, though. I really am interested to see that.
Because next year's Ace's first year is actually in Orono, is it not?
Correct. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Maine to make another push, potentially be in the tournament. Who knows? I mean, if they win America East, they'll obviously get bounced in the first round, but
you gotta get out. You gotta get after Bryant, because Bryant was just up and down by and large the better team this year.
And obviously, you know, Cooper is a different stratosphere of a player than Ace, but they are twin brothers, which
and going through all the years in Montverde, they were pushing each other still.
Wait, they're twins?
They're twins.
Oh no shit. And then they played AAU together for 8+. I mean, they played on Maine United, the teams before that.
And they played at Montverde before Cooper went to Duke.
I didn't know Ace went to Montverde.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of intrigue in that. I mean, it's obviously not going to rival Maine hockey in terms of fall sports by any stretch, but
it would if Cooper was here. If you bring Cooper here, that might rival it.
Yes, with Ace going to, but with Cooper for sure, it would.
Yeah. God, you'd have to make all the games at the Caution CERN Center. You couldn't have them at the pit. There wouldn't be a play in a room.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy. It's like you guys would have like Larry Bird.
I'd be going to those games.
I don't go to college basketball games like ever. That I'd go there too. I'd go for that. Absolutely.
40 points a fucking game.
I've been to 1 or 2 women's games, but that's back when I was real little. My mom used to be a college basketball fan for Maine back when they had Cindy Blodgett, but that's really about it.
I think I went to 1 men's basketball game while I was at the university. They actually played it at the Alphon. They took the ice out and put the wood court on the floor of the Alphon. Yeah,
they used to do that all the time. It used to be multi-purpose arena.
Yeah, not anymore. Now it's either ice or graduations.
Yes.
Oh, they do graduations there. Well, they just cover up the ice, right?
Yeah.
No, they take the ice out.
Oh.
They do. They have covered it before too, though. It depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
In all certain aspects, but for graduation, yeah, they'd probably just take it out. That would make the most sense.
They do take it out. They do. Speaking of ice, we got the Frozen Four this week.
I think it would be you, Denver.
Yeah. I'm expecting it to be you, Denver, as well, but kind of can't shy away from the hot hand in Penn State still. But the team I want to win the whole thing right now is Western Michigan. That's the team I'm pulling for. Because I don't think they've ever won a title.
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know if they have or not.
Definitely not anytime recent, but I don't know. Have they won a title? Give me a second. Let me check that. But
I'm not sure if you guys can see my screen, if you guys see it on the stream as well, but we're going to have at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern on the 10th. Holy fucking shit, that's Thursday, right? And that's going to be Denver, Western Michigan, Penn State against BU. I've got Western Michigan beating BU in the title game, personally.
It's not a bad pick. There's a lot of, especially when it comes to these teams, all of them are well rested now. All of them are well prepared for their opponent. So I could see both of these games going either way. And even though I'm predicting a BU Denver matchup, I wouldn't be surprised if I got both of those wrong.
I did confirm that Western Michigan, this is their first ever Frozen Four appearance.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. They should be both. The Frozen Four games are on Thursday, and then the actual finals on Saturday, I believe, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it should be a good slate of games. I might peek in.
Now, speaking of hockey, boys, there was a big record that just got broken in the Big League. Alexander Ovechkin did officially break Wayne Gretzky's goal record, not point record. Still so many hundreds of points away from that. But he did break his all-time goal record. All the props in the world to Alexander Ovechkin.
Absolutely.
And so he's, in my opinion, the second greatest player of this generation and a top 10 player of all time. I don't have him above Sidney Crosby as far as all-time players. And that's a hot topic because a lot of people, especially around this area who are diehard Bruins fans, can't stand Sidney Crosby. He's almost like the LeBron James of the NHL. But, Sidney Crosby is a much more rounded, well overall player. Obviously, Al, you could argue that Ovechkin's much more physical, of course, but as far as pure dynamic player, I give the edge to Crosby in that. But nonetheless, this is a huge, huge accomplishment for Ovechkin, and it's well deserved. He's the best goal scorer the league has ever seen, and I don't see this record being broken by anyone other than potentially Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid.
I think it's definitely going to be McDavid, if any of them, between Matthews and McDavid, my opinion. McDavid is the only one I could see theoretically even making it's going to take like a 20-year run to even consider going after Gretzky's record, but even then, I don't think it's going to ever happen.
Matthews, you could argue, is a better goal scorer than McDavid, though. Like, obviously, McDavid's a better player, but we're talking about just pure goal scoring.
Right, but I'm talking about that. What I mentioned, like if anyone's gonna ever challenge Gretzky's record, it's gonna be McDavid of who's still around
because of longevity, right?
Exactly. And McDavid's a better puck handler and a better assist man than Matthews.
No question. Absolutely.
I think McDavid right now is by and large the best player in the NHL, and I don't think it's even close. It's even close.
Absolutely, he is. No question, the best player in the world.
But yeah, absolutely hats off to Ovechkin. Gretzky's speech at the I'm not even sure what it's not the Nassau Coliseum anymore. I'm not sure what the Islanders Stadium is anymore, but they're very, very well spoken and very
respectful.
He respectful. He was quite the gentleman. I mean, that was a record that, again, going about 10, 12 years ago, no one thought was even going to be challenged. Goals nor his points. I mean, the points record still is not in danger at all. But it's not even close to being in danger. But and I said this before we started the show. I mean, if you go back, the last time the Buffalo Sabres were in the playoffs, Ovechkin was nearly 600 goals away from getting the record he is now. So this is a very well deserved accomplishment, and I definitely think it does put Ovechkin in the top 10 of all time.
So let me ask you guys this, and I want to I hate to do this, but I'm going to steal a question that I heard on First Take, and I want to get your guys'
Go for it.
Which record, in your opinion, is more impressive now? Ovechkin breaking Wayne Gretzky's record for goals scored, or LeBron passing Kareem in points?
You're not going to like my answer. You're not going to like my answer to this one.
What is it?
I think it's Ovechkin. I think and again, this is going to be partially my criticism of LeBron and his antics on the court. much of many. How many free throws of those points that LeBron scored from flopping?
That don't have nothing to do with it.
That's not
I
a
don't
lot.
think that should be taken into consideration.
That's not a lot. I mean, it's not. But again, I find that it's
perspective of percentage. I'd say less than 2%, to be God's honest.
Okay, that's a little. I'd say about maybe 10, but I mean they call it. I don't have a problem with it.
But
I'm not saying
my point
from flopping from foul shots. I'd say it's less than 5% at max. But I see. I don't think there's a wrong answer to this.
But at the same time, again, I think hockey is a much more demanding sport than basketball, physically. I mean, obviously, there's a persona that hockey players have, and they're just like crazy nut jobs, which much of them they are. but I think the grind and the physical toll that hockey takes on a person is much more than basketball. That's my opinion. Take it for what it is.
No, I agree with you on that one.
What I was gonna jump in and say was the question was what was more impressive, right?
Yes.
So Justin actually made really good points. So for most of the same points he made, I would say that is more impressive because it's more physically demanding. I mean, Ovechkin, he scored his first goal in October 2005. But so I think that one's more impressive. The record that I could see less likely to be broken though is the points record because of the load management. That I think does add a little bit of impressiveness to what LeBron did because he's been load managing for like 5-6 years now at certain points, and he still did it playing this far into his career. But the physical toll that it demands, he's for the fact how long he's been doing it, Ovechkin, yeah, that's more impressive. But I think that the way the NBA is it's still very unlikely that his record is going to be beaten. I mean, I don't really see Ovechkin being beaten either, but the way the NBA is structured now, I could see the goal records being beaten before the points record by somebody like McDavid or Austin Matthews.
That's a fair point too. It's the way that I was breaking it down now, the way I personally see it. I really don't think there's an official wrong answer to this one because you can make solid cases for both sides. So it's
a very subjective idea. Like, with how do you see points in basketball in terms of difficulty compared to points in hockey difficulty? Yeah, it's a different animal. They're different sports. It's not like apples to oranges, but we're talking. There's a difference.
There's a huge difference. I mean, the only thing that they really have in common is they both play 82 games a season. Like, that's really
and there you're putting the bucket, the ball or the puck into a net.
Yeah. Right. That's where the commonality just stops, except, I guess some teams play in the same arenas too, but neither here nor there. If pressed, I would slightly lean towards LeBron's. And the reason I say that is because just of the sheer dominance of what he's shown over the course of his career. Not that Ovechkin hasn't, of course, but at the same time, LeBron has done more, has dominated his sport more than Ovechkin has. If you really think about it, Ovechkin's won 1 title, LeBron's won 4. LeBron's a 4-time MVP. And then when you break down how long Kareem's record stood for, it stood for much longer than Wayne Gretzky's goal record stood for. And LeBron did it in fewer amount of games than Ovechkin did to break these records. And so there's a lot that goes into it, of course. But just for those slight edges, I'd give it to Braun.
So, I mean, that argument feels feels more like a GOAT debate as opposed to which was more impressive of a record. The argument you're making feels more like is LeBron more of a GOAT than Ovechkin, as opposed to which is a more impressive record. And again, there's not a wrong answer. There isn't a wrong answer.
So actually, I understand your setback on that, so I can feel you. I guess if we take away the MVP portion of it and the championship titles aspect to the argument, then I guess I would kind of just stick with the argument of Kareem's record stood longer,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that other players before Braun couldn't break it, such as Jordan, such as fucking Kobe,
Magic, Bird. Yeah, sure. No, that's fair.
Kobe.
Some of the all-time greats who are on the Mount Rushmore of basketball still couldn't break that. That's fair. That's a fair argument.
Not that that's not taking anything away from Ovechkin's greatness or taking anything away from his mark for breaking this record. It's a record that was going to stand the test of time. And I agree with Ian too when he said he thinks Ovechkin's record will be broken before LeBron's, and that's simply too. That's also a matter of
longevity. Yeah,
you do that. This is Ovechkin's last year because yes, he broke the goal record, but let's not act like Washington wasn't pushing and pushing every game to get him as many shots as possible, especially on.
Oh yeah, when he got down to the middle, he got 20 away. They were just pumping the puck to him.
And here's the thing again, my last point on this, and it's the biggest point that I wanted to save for this, why I think it's Braun, right? Ovechkin is absolutely known as a goal scorer, right? Like he scores goals. He puts that puck in the net. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. What's the biggest thing that they say about LeBron, as impressive as for this scoring record, is LeBron is a pass-first player.
He's become a pass-first player, I would say. He hasn't been a pass-first player his entire career. I wouldn't say that.
I think he has. I think they've been saying that about LeBron since he came out of high school, that he's more Magic than Mike. Ian, is that correct?
That's correct. I think as we've seen him grow throughout his career, we've seen him. He's always been pass first, but I think we've seen the assists develop. But yeah, even going back watching his high school games, he was always he played off ball more. So I think his opportunities to set up weren't as plentiful because I remember who they had as a point guard when he got drafted. But yeah, no, I've always thought he's been a pass first guy. I just think when he was younger in his career, he just didn't have as many opportunities. But yeah, they've always said he's more Magic than Mike is what I've heard.
Okay,
fair enough. But to be fair to what Justin was saying. To be fair, even though like what Casey said, as he always has been said that he's Mike. When I think of young LeBron, I think of more of an attacker. Even though, like I said, he always has kind of been pass first. I always kind of in my mind envision him playing off ball, going to the basket. Even though he did pass, so I definitely can't get that perception was around him when he was younger.
Right, and my point on it is for a player who does so many other things. And scoring isn't his first natural outlook on the court. He looks to get his teammates involved. He looks to set things up. He, all of that, right? All that being incumbent upon him, still getting the points record is, I think, a phenomenal feat, right? Of course, and it speaks to longevity. It speaks to, keeping his body in shape as much as he can. They say he spends $1 million on his body every year. I don't know the truth behind that or anything, but that's my point as to why I feel I would give the slight edge to LeBron as opposed to Ovechkin, where his first, what people know him for is just being a natural goal scorer, as where LeBron isn't known as a natural scorer.
Okay. I see what you're saying for sure. Like he just broke the all-time scorer record, and he's known as a pass-first player. Like that's definitely carries a lot of weight. For sure.
That's fair. That's a fair again. No wrong answer.
No, absolutely not. No wrong answer whatsoever. If someone thinks Ovechkin, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're wrong. Fuck no. That's a very absolutely valid, 100% valid opinion.
If they tell me Ovechkin is better than Wayne Gretzky, I'll tell them they're wrong.
Then you're full of shit.
Delusional.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, I as impressive as his feat is, I don't even think this puts Ovechkin above Crosby all time, in my opinion.
I think it puts Ovechkin alongside Crosby, but maybe not over.
So,
not above. I think it puts him neck and neck.
That's fair.
But again, there's only one GOAT of all goats.
What?
One go.
It's Wayne. It's Wayne.
Wayne.
And I almost said something stupid, but I can't say it. I can't say it, Justin.
All right.
Oh my god, I would have gotten killed for that one.
Yeah, you would have. You would have.
I think you understand what I was about to say.
I think I know. Oh man.
No, Wayne Gretzky, the absolute undisputed and only undisputed GOAT in team sports. Only undisputed.
Wayne Gretzky, she let me, come get me, Lakers in 5.
Oh man.
Shannon Sharp.
Dude, those LeBron songs. I saw the LeBron and
I saw. I actually kind of made one in my mind, like off the Pokemon theme song. Luke Ebron.
Have you seen RDC World? I think it was one of the Olympic episodes. He's like, LeBron.
My favorite one is like, oh fuck, the man on the Lakers. That one was
Yeah,
like,
that's one. I'm looking at the
man on the Lakers.
LeBron James. Oh man, great times.
Yeah.
Anyways, boys, speaking of LeBron James, the NBA playoffs are about a week away.
That snuck up on me.
Yeah, real quick.
Serious?
Yeah, they're about a week away.
It don't start that close after. I mean, it is the beginning of April. Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah.
Mid-April. Real soon.
So not this weekend, next weekend.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Easter weekend. Easter weekend is the beginning of the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now, Ian, one thing that I want to two things that I want to address regarding these NBA playoffs real quick. Ian, your Clippers, boy, they are on a tear. 14-3 over the last 17 games.
Oof.
They are a team. They are the definition of a team that could upset a higher seed real quick. Kawhi Leonard is looking like 2019 Kawhi Leonard. James Harden is absolutely balling right now.
Yeah, I know I haven't had really anything to fucking say about the Clippers all year because they just kind of been what I thought they were going to be. But please let us get the chance to play Oklahoma City in the second. I'm not worried about Denver. They're going through so much. We were just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell with that? I mean, they fired their coach and their GM with 5 games to play in the season.
It makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense.
From what I heard, there was a bit like a Cold War just fighting between the coach and the GM, and the owner said, "Forget this, I'm done. Just clean house." But this close to the playoffs, that's a bad idea, in my opinion.
It's a detriment to their season, unfortunately. Like, I can still see Denver getting out of the first round, but it's a detriment to their season.
But you're the 4th seed. I mean, do that. I mean, plan to do it after the season. Now is like the worst time to do it.
Horrible timing. And Ian, like I said, back to the Clippers real quick because I definitely want to address them. I think you guys are scary good right now. I would argue a top 3 contender in the West right now for the Clippers. They are absolutely playing ferocious defense. Kawhi Leonard is an absolute men among boys out there right now. This must be the best feeling for you, knowing that they're playing this well at the perfect time.
Yeah,
they got inside track for the 3 seed right now.
Yeah, they really do.
Let me go back.
I don't think the Lakers are going to surrender that 3 seed, but at the same time,
they're only 2 games up on the Clippers for the 3 seed.
Yeah, but only 4 games left. All the Lakers have to do is win 2 out of 4.
Can we finally get a Lakers-Clippers playoff series? That's literally never happened. The Ducks and Kings did it once, I think.
That doesn't count.
No. The only way that happens is if Denver somehow either has to jump the Lakers for there to be a 4-5 matchup. Right. That's really not going to happen.
Yeah, Denver would have. They have the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. We said this earlier this season, and I think I need to eat my own words. Watch out for Golden State, because I let them for dead earlier this year, and they're they're coming on strong.
They're not being the
They had a
Lakers.
real tough outing against Houston. I think it was either last night or the night before. Steph Curry played probably the worst game of his whole NBA career. But yeah, absolutely agree. You have to watch out for Golden State. Definitely have to watch out for the Clippers. And boys, I would just like to point out that the Thunder got absolutely obliterated on Sunday by the Lakers. And the game before that, I believe they got absolutely obliterated again. I don't remember by who, but they've lost by 20 points, I think, 2 out of the last 4 games. And Ian, again here, there's this conversation that I'm trying to recall, buddy. You and I were having this conversation. And I was saying something. What was Casey saying? Oh, that's right. If SGA doesn't get whistles, he averages about 25. We got to the free throw line. How many times on Sunday? 0. And what happened? Thunder got blown out. SGA has a subpar performance. He is not getting these whistles in the playoffs, Ian. The Thunder will win their first round series. I give you that. They will win their first round. But SGA, PGA, something A, USA. 5. Lakers in 5.
He's averaging 32 and 6.
Lakers and Thunder are actually tilting right now. Thunder up 28-21, about 5 minutes up in the first.
I'm almost positive the Lakers are resting players because of tomorrow night's game.
Who do they play tomorrow?
At Dallas. Luka's to Dallas.
What do you think the reception
down 10, about 2.5 left in the second quarter. Not worried about that game. The Cavs are up by 20 in the third. The Celtics don't have anything to play for.
No,
the Wizards are winning a game.
Holy shit. Did Michael come back?
But yeah, man, I don't you're tripping. SGA, he's fine.
He's a whistle dependent player.
There's still nobody that can stop him.
Yeah, there are. They just happened. It just happened.
Oh,
in one game. Their first seed.
Okay, but also, Ian, they don't have a second star. They have budding stars in James. Oh God, this is not. I know it's not Jameson.
Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren.
They have budding stars, but they don't have another star player alongside SGA.
They don't need.
All it takes. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. To get through the West, they absolutely do.
100%. All it takes is a poor quarter and a half from SGA for them to lose a series. All it takes.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. What do you think the reception to Luka is going to be like when they play Dallas?
Warm.
In Dallas.
Warm.
I think so too.
Because he didn't ask to leave. He got traded. It's not like he for free agency.
Yeah.
He didn't pull it.
He didn't leave. He was kicked out. There's a difference.
Absolutely. I will say this though. I don't think Luka's going to have the game high tomorrow.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's going to be Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he came back and was lighting it up.
He is playing really well, and he has something to prove. And the Lakers have nobody on the interior that can stop AD. Nobody. I think AD is going to feast tomorrow. I think the Lakers win, but I think AD drops 30 and
32.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, 30 to 35 points, anywhere between 12 to 15 rebounds. Like, I think he's going to feast on the inside.
I don't know. I'm not taking that bet. I know better.
But like I said, I think the Lakers are going to win because they're a better team. And, outside of Anthony Davis, right now the Mavs have us out there.
Yeah.
So,
Let it rain. Rain dance.
Rain dance. Let it rain.
If you guys had 15 tries to score on Anthony Davis, do you think you could even get a shot off?
Didn't we talk about this shit on one of the old shows?
I might get a shot off, but even then it wouldn't be pretty.
To get a shot off?
Against Anthony Davis going full board.
Oh God, no!
Just to get it off.
I'm not getting that shot off. There's no chance.
I'm getting one shot off. One at least.
Is it hitting the rim?
It might hit the bottom of the backboard.
Nah, dude, like now that I think about it, any move that I have, he'd probably be prepared for and then some. Like damn.
I'd have to like pull up from half court. Oh, shit.
It's not to be like immediate, like as soon as he checks it, shoot it.
No, he's gonna be ready.
Pretty much. That would be something I'd have to be like check the ball from outside the arc and just chuck it up.
Yeah.
Or hit him with the little pump fake, have him go.
No, I wouldn't pump fake. I'm just chucking it up. I'm throwing it up as further than he hoping he can't reach that high.
Even if you get him on a pump fake, he's got the recovery speed. If you go past him, he's going to chase it down next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm checking in. And I'm just like, up and arc it as much as I can. Hope to God it's either going in or goaltending.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't have a chance. No way.
Would you rather, if you had to for your life, score a basket on Anthony Davis or catch a pass on prime Darrelle Revis?
I'm more likely to catch a pass on Revis.
You said score on Anthony Davis?
Yeah, you have to score.
I'm more likely to catch a pass off of Revis.
Let's be very clear when we talk about this scenario. We're not doing either. Like, none of them are going to happen.
No, it's not. But what's more likely, I think, for me to have happen, probably catching a pass.
Same, 100%, Justin. But like, by no means is it going to happen.
I'm gonna light the road his ass up. Nah. See, this is a podcast. He this is a day and age where he'd find me too. Be like, hey, that was talking on that fucking. No, but I mean, if we're
right in your face, like, let's go run some.
I mean, it's hard. Like, it's like cutting off. Because I honestly feel like the Anthony Davis thing, just because in basketball you can get lucky and it go in, but at the same time, because you're really gonna need not only to get separation, which you're not fucking getting. If you even do get a tiny bit, you're gonna have to worry about getting the ball jarred loose. So I guess scoring on Anthony Davis, I don't know, man, just fucking kill me. Like let's just get the shit.
I could catch a football better than I could shoot a basketball. So that's where I am with that.
You gotta light your fucking ass up.
Basketball pretty fairly well. Like I'm a very good shot, but I'm too short, bro. Like I'm not getting a shot off on Anthony Davis.
You and your 5'7" self aren't gonna get anything off arm.
No, fuck, it's not happening.
Do I get a screen?
No, it's 1-on-1.
Ah. Man, this damn cheese bacon deluxe shit from Science is fire.
The reason that you may have a slightly better chance against Revis is you can technically run any route that you want. So you could run it to like a sweet little 2-yard in and just hope that you can shield off his body and just.
I'm turning around for a wide receiver screen. That's all I'm doing.
But is there like a whole play going on? Or are you just guys going heads up 1-on-1?
Heads up 1-on-1 when quarterback take the ball and snap it. But I'm just turning around.
It don't matter what fucking route you run. That shit. You're lucky if it doesn't get intercepted.
Well, I agree.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. No joke. I mean, but what's more likely to happen?
Yeah.
Honestly, I changed my answer. I would say catching a pass on Revis because I feel like if you can get a little separation, if you're just willing to put your life on the line and acknowledge that you're about to get hit harder than you ever have, you might have a chance. Like you got to accept the fact you're going to go to the shadow realm. But I think if you have a chance of holding on to the ball.
Yeah, I agree, and it's obviously like I said,
I'm spider tapping the shit out of my hands for that.
Yes. I'm gonna do that shit that kid did in Little Giants, where he had the whole stickum covering his full hand.
Yes.
What they call them, hot hands?
Yes.
Remember the comebacks with Keanu Reeves?
Oh my god.
Fun fact about that movie: when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I hated the end. Like I couldn't watch the end because the Cowboys lost.
Oh right. Are they called the Cowboys in that movie, or do they name them some other shit?
Yeah. No, they're called the Cowboys. The Giants and the Cowboys.
He And Little Giant. No, I'm talking about the replacements with Keanu Reeves when he put the stickum on his hands. He said, "I look like I just jacked off an elephant."
No, I was talking about Little Giants. Yeah, no, they were called. It was Dallas, but it was something different. I don't remember what it was, but
With Buzz, that coach was a damn machine, bro.
Spike. He was Spike,
Or
not Buzz.
Spike, yeah.
Spike don't play well with girls. Spike don't care.
Yeah, coach was. And then you had my favorite scene of that movie. I wonder if it's your guys' too. Is when they pulled up on the bus, the Madden bus.
Oh, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, that. Oh man, great movie. Great movie.
Who is it? Bruce Smith, Emmett Smith, John Madden, I think.
Yeah.
That was dope, man. The annexation of Puerto Rico. They don't make sports movies like that no more, bro.
No, they don't. It's sad. So, what do you guys think is the most I don't want to say electrifying, but what top seed, first or second seed in the West or in the East, do you feel has the biggest chance to get upset?
In the first round?
Yeah, mine would probably be Houston in the West, second seed. I don't think Cleveland's getting upset. I don't think Boston's getting upset, and I don't think it's OKC. Like, I don't think Houston's going to lose their first round series game by the series by any means. But if I had to choose between out of those four teams, I'd probably roll with Houston.
I mean, because if you look at it, because I mean, Houston would be playing Minnesota as it stands now. I mean, Cleveland would be playing a team with a losing record, and the Celtics are going to be playing a team in the East with a losing record. Oklahoma City's not going to. Oh, no, actually, fuck that. I say Oklahoma City has the best chance of losing round one. I like how Memphis matches up.
You just said last show you think OKC is going to win the title.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at it. Memphis, I like them. I mean, it depends. It depends if they make your matchup in round one. I do like Oklahoma City. I just don't think that. I mean, because you got Zach Edey, you got John Morant. I like the same thing what you said about
Let's not diminish the fact that the Clippers, Warriors, Wolves, and Grizzlies are all tied.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very true.
The I don't really think Minnesota has too much of a shot, but the Warriors, Timberwolves, Clippers, Warriors, and Grizzlies, I think have it depending. Oh, wait, no. 46-30. Oh yeah, they could all end up in the 8th seed. I'm not saying that Oklahoma City is gonna lose. I'm just saying I can definitely see them getting problems with any three of those teams, depending on how it shakes out.
If they end up matching up with the Warriors, I might end up picking Golden State in that series.
I would probably pick Golden State in that series right now too. Given if it's going to be Golden State OKC, I'll take Golden State. Right, if in a vacuum right now, I take Golden State.
We've seen Golden State go on the road and win playoff series. We saw when they did it the year they won the title, they had to go to Memphis in a 3-2 matchup, and that didn't bother them. And they got Jimmy Butler now. I mean, imagine Golden State Lakers round one, man. That'd be showtime.
The NBA doesn't want that because they want Curry and LeBron to have deep runs in the playoffs. Like, I'm not saying it's not going to happen as far as having them match up, but that's the one matchup in the first round the NBA doesn't want because of marketing.
That's fair, yeah. Especially if they're both knocked out, then the cool thing about the Celtics have always been it's who's up next. The Celtics are, and it's kind of the same way with the Lakers too. They're just the teams with the brand name. Sorry, I think
it's the mystique of the team as opposed to necessarily the matchup.
Exactly, and even with the I mean, really, as far as my opinion, those are the only two teams that really have that same mystique. That mystique around them. Maybe the Knicks, just because it's the Knicks.
Yeah, I was going to argue the Knicks just because it's New York, it's the Knicks, they absolutely have that mystique too. It's just they haven't had the success that the Lakers, Celtics, or Warriors have had.
The only team in the East that I can the Magic potential matchup for the Celtics isn't a very good one for the Celtics because the Magic really are a really good defensive team, but they can't keep up on offense. So I'm not worried about it.
No, I said this a couple shows ago. I think at worst that'd be a gentleman's sweep for the Celtics. At worst.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. Cleveland's not going to have any issue getting past Atlanta, Chicago, or Miami. They wouldn't have any problem with that. Any of those teams.
Absolutely not.
Um,
It'd be a sweep. That would be a sweep for sure.
I'm okay. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I wish Sean was here because I know he said he just said he gets out of work right when we start the show. But I'm going to take Detroit over the Knicks in the first round.
Wow, that's not a bad pick. I mean, Detroit embarks what it is to have that dog in you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can absolutely see that happening.
That's my early upset pick right now is Detroit over the Knicks.
Hey man, Detroit. It's funny too because they're kind of adopting the identity of the team, the Bad Boys, with Isaiah Stewart trying to find everybody. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun playoffs. I did not realize that they were coming up that close. Like, wow,
Yeah, it's that close. It's that close.
And then it's baseball until football starts.
Yes.
Yes.
After June.
And Devers finally got to figure out how to hit. Thank God.
Red Sox are on a roll right now, Justin.
They dropped the game against Toronto last night, but they've been doing pretty well.
Yeah. I believe they
now, if only they can get some consistency out of their starting pitching, we'll be fine.
6-5. It's a three-way tie atop the AL East with them, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays. We're 6-3. We're second in the AL West. We're currently playing right now. We are
too, but we're down 4-0 in the top of the seventh.
We're in Tampa up 2-0 in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, we're at home against Toronto, and we're about to drop the second game out of the 4 games. At least looks like it.
They'll call the 6-6, which I mean, I didn't expect the Red Sox to be a juggernaut this season, anyways. But if they can somehow sneak into a wild card, maybe an ALDS round, be happy as clam for them. That'd be a huge.
I think an ALDS appearance is definitely in the cards for them on paper, at least.
Yeah, 100%. I can see it for sure. Like you said, it's a lot of it is going to do with starting pitching, and that's when it becomes a big hassle because we know how the pitching rotation comes late September, early October timeframes. And I think that's when you'd see the Red Sox's true weaknesses.
Speaking of baseball, so I have our baseball trivia question of the night.
Okay.
In the post-integration era, which pitcher gave up the fewest home runs in a single season?
A post-integration, Bob Gibson?
Nope.
Shit.
The year was 1976. If that helps at all.
Is it the fewest home runs in a season?
Fewest home runs given up by a pitcher
in a season. All right, we gotta. I am not gonna be able to fucking get this without some clues. What league?
National League.
Okay.
How well known is this pitcher?
Not a big name pitcher.
Not big name. Okay.
Fuck. I mean, we definitely. Okay. That basically.
He did play for the Red Sox. And he played for the Red Sox during this. He was a Red Sox during this year.
Did he play for the Red Sox when they lost to the Mets in 1986?
No.
Okay. Did he play for multiple teams or the Red Sox his whole career?
Multiple teams, predominantly for the Cardinals. He played for the Red Sox for 4 years, and this year, the 1976 was the Impossible Dream season. He was there.
I don't have the idea.
Okay, no, I'm getting there. Has he ever won a ring?
No.
Okay. He white or black?
White.
Fuck, that narrows it down. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
He is in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Okay, give me two more hints. All right, here we go. That is why I made too specific. No, I can't. That's too specific.
His last name
Uh-huh.
is the name of a franchise location
Of an MLB franchise.
of an MLB franchise.
Is that franchise located east or west of the Mississippi?
East.
Hold on. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna get this shit. I'm gonna get this shit. Okay, here we go. Because that's the last. Like, if I can't get it with that clue, then I'm just cooked. East of the Mississippi. He said his last name is the name of a franchise location. I think I got this. Ron Washington.
No.
Fuck. What is it?
All right.
Ron Washington's black. Reggie Cleveland.
Damn it.
I thought it was gonna be. I wouldn't have got that.
Reggie Cleveland. Played for the Red Sox in 1976. He gave up a total of 3 home runs that entire season.
Holy shit. 3 home
How many
runs?
innings pitched? Do you know?
Let me get that stat line here. His career ERA was 4.01. He had 930 strikeouts in his career.
God damn.
In 1976, he pitched in 41 games.
3 home runs. Jesus Christ.
3 total home runs given up in the entire year.
That's very impressive. So
170 innings pitched.
that kind of leads into the question here, boys. We're almost getting to 9:00 p.m. here Eastern time, so we got to wrap this show up. And I want to know, what is the most obscure sports fact that you know?
That was pretty damn obscure shit.
If you want to use that one, I'm totally cool with it.
No, I'll try to think of another one.
Okay, I got mine. So in hockey, right, when they get 3 goals, it's called a hat trick. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
In lacrosse, when you score 6 goals in a game, do you know what it's called? A sock.
A sock.
And they do throw the socks on the field.
What? Has that ever happened
Yeah.
in a game, in an NHL game in recent history?
Oh, I don't know about NHL. I'm talking about lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse. Duh. I'm sorry. Lacrosse. Okay.
Yeah, it's called a sock trick. If you score 6 goals by yourself in a lacrosse game, it's called the sock trick.
Okay. I have mine. It's another baseball stat. Back in 1932, Joe Sewell struck out a grand total of 3 times in the entire season.
That's fucking impressive. What about you, Ian? Like
his career strikeout percentage is 0.014. You never got him to strike out. He was like Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn never struck out, man. That was.
I mentioned this earlier this year, the chat this week. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Pedro Martinez, all Mount Rushmore caliber pitchers, struck him out 3 times total.
Crazy. What you got, Ian? Your most obscure, just out of the world blue type sports fact.
That was because I have a few. One I just found very interesting. Alcohol is considered a performance enhancing drug in most shooting sports, as it calms your body down and allows you to shoot straighter. There's another one. I just looked that up. There was one that I had on my.
You're defeating the whole purpose.
I mean, I couldn't think of one, bro. Like, as far, okay, you know what? Let me close this. Just give me a second.
You gotta have one that you like, just some random thing that you know of that's super obscure.
Okay.
I looked up the Sewell and the Reggie Cleveland stats that I had them earlier before we started. I was like, I got a couple weird, crazy ones for you.
Fair.
So it's interesting you had that as a question because I was thinking let's come up with an obscure baseball fact.
So the reason I knew the lacrosse thing is I remember watching it on SportsCenter's Top Plays like back in like 2005 or 6. And it just the way that when you know how they would talk about the plays as they were happening during the top plays, and he's like, "Fun fact about lacrosse: when you score 6 goals, it's called the sock trick." And like it always stuck in my head because I thought it was so weird.
Speaking of lacrosse, Johns Hopkins, who is like primarily known for medical research and stuff like that, is a premier lacrosse college team. Johns Hopkins.
Mine, I could do because there's so many. Because like when I think of obscure, it's like I feel like some of them I've heard places before, which makes it less obscure. Fuck, there was one I just had on my fucking. Well, there hasn't been a college basketball team west of the Mississippi to win a championship since 1997, but it seems like that's pretty well known. Like they bring that up quite a bit.
Actually, I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't either.
Another thing too, the 1985, the Final Four featured 3 Big East teams: St. John's, Villanova, and Georgetown, which is also the only year that a number 8 seed won it in Villanova. They shot. That's actually, before we go, let's pull up the stats from that game because this is gonna take 2 seconds. Georgetown stats. I want to read this.
Didn't Georgetown go winless not too long ago? 1 year.
Yeah, a few years ago. So, yeah, they or like in Big East, they did at least. Like they didn't win a single.
Patrick Ewing was the coach and didn't win a single game.
Yeah, he was a terrible coach.
Georgetown guys. Jalen Wells, just got carted off the court in a stretcher.
Oh.
So, damn. I'll be well, I'm sure they'll come out with a report here pretty soon, but best of luck, safe recoveries to him. So in this game, Villanova shot 78% and they beat Georgetown 66-64. They had to play almost a perfect game and they did shot 81% from the free throw line. 78% from the field.
That's beautiful.
That is insane.
Wow, that's insane.
70 and they won by 2.
And they still only won by 2. Oh my god.
68-66. Yeah, Georgetown only won. I guess another fun fact is the Fab Five technically never existed because they vacated both what they did in 1992 and 1993.
I don't care if things get it still happened. Like
happening.
But that was a great show, boys. Going on about an hour and 15 minutes here. And, Justin, if they're going to Canada, what do they got to do, buddy?
Bring a towel. It's cold out here. Why is it snowing out here? It's in April. I'm going to bring a towel.
And everybody except Chris, keep your pants on. Good night.
Fuck Philly.